to do a quick tour of the not quite finished but nearing finished 1,560 square foot 4-bedroom cottage. This is the first full-size home build that we've done at Evolving Innovations, and we've got a really quiet place. It's essentially a big Yeti cooler full of Rockwool insulation, which is a great sound deadening insulation. It's also mold resistant and fire resistant, and we've got R42 walls, R66 ceilings and floors. As you can see, we've got LED light package in here as well, so we've got an insanely energy efficient place to go. The concept here, being a cottage, is that we want to have a really nice great room where people can get together and share memories and experience this cottage. You go to a cottage, one of the things that you're always going to be looking for is a great kitchen, because at the cottage you're pretty much banking on doing all of your own meals. So what we've done here is we've got a great gourmet kitchen. This has been done by Lart Cabinets. That's a division of Vote, who also build some great houses. And we've added this island here so that you can maximize the visitation while people are cooking dinner and things like that. I want you to see these cabinets. These doors are not MDF, they're solid wood, and we've got, you know, pullouts that soft close, doors that soft close. Come around here, you don't see it yet, but there's a space there for a beer fridge under the bar that you see, or the island. And then we've got lots of drawers, so we can keep heavier objects like pots and pans, dishes, those sorts of things nice and low. A lot of windows too. Every one of these windows are mechanical, so you can open them up and you can make sure you're nice and comfortable. Many times of the year you probably don't have to run your HVAC system at all, but if you are running the HVAC system, one of the really cool things, I can't show you just yet, but if we go into the mechanical room, you'll actually see in this closet that we have that there are 2 conduits coming out of the wall, and that is for geothermal lines. And we're going to have a hydron air furnace that is hanging horizontally mounted, and then we have a nice high hot water tank that'll be mounted high, and we got space for laundry machines and some boot storage. But the geothermal is actually going to be installed inside of the piles, so we're installing helical piles to support the entire cabin, and there's going to be a few of those piles installed to 60 feet deep with geothermal installation inside of it, so it'll be heated and cooled with thermal energy, which is pretty cool. Here's an example of the electrical that we have here. It's been done by Gausco Electric, Nick, and you know, we choose Nick because you can see obviously that there's a lot of pride in the work that he does. You know, the fact that he proudly places a sticker right on the panel means he's not afraid to let people know who is responsible for wiring the place. There's also a conduit in the ground. We intend to have a hot tub potentially. We've also pre-installed wiring for cell phone boosters and things like that. I mean, here we've got a bedroom that's got a bunch of stuff in it right now. And in the ceiling there, you can see that box with some wires coming out, and that is a box that the Red River College building envelope folks installed. There's sensors throughout this house. They were very interested in what we were doing and how we were building homes. As I said, it's kind of like a big Yeti cooler. The way that we do it is actually building the entire frame of the house, the envelope, out of trusses. So the entire house is framed with trusses, which are stood like every 2 feet. Gives us the ability to do a lot of insulation in a really effective manner. So the sensors that the BTAC folks installed allows them to come in for the next number of years and see what kind of moisture level might be in the walls, the temperatures that are in the walls, all these different things, so that we can know exactly where dew points are and things like that, and to, you know, just always look at proving the performance that we expect out of the house, but also I'm sure that we'll have some lessons that we learn, ways that we might be able to even further improve upon something that is already proven to be pretty cool and exciting and high value. So there I am in the mirror. Nice to see you. We've got decent sized bedrooms for a cottage, but I'm a big fan of having big beds so that I'm most comfortable when I sleep. So the theme of this cottage is not big roomy bedrooms. It's really practical for bringing a lot of friends and family here and sleeping a lot of people. This one is going to have 8 mattresses in it. And then we got that huge sectional in the front room as well. This one's going to be a kid's kind of room. So you see the light, we actually have it built in with a night light. So there's night light mode in the kids' rooms. And then coming into here, we've got sort of the master bedroom. Being a master bedroom, we don't quite need night light mode, but we're on a dimmer. So if you want to control the light in here, you can do that. On the floor here, we're not using any far infrared panels, but you can see sort of leaning up against the wall is a far infrared panel. We got it plugged in just to give a little bit of warmth to the back of the cottage here. We run another heater near the front, just a small one, just to keep the place warm while it's not hooked up to anything. And then we've got an owner's closet here. It's going to allow for storage of owner's goods if we were to rent it out. And in here we've got a nice little ensuite bathroom. There I am again. And you can see the master gets an extra bathroom, of course. Every king needs his own throne. And that, friends, is the 1,560 square foot truss home cabin built by Evolving Innovations. And if this is something that you might be interested in talking about, be happy to talk to you. Another really cool feature about this building system is that none of the internal walls that you see here are structural. So all the structural walls are in the envelope, so it's all exterior walls that are structural. So you can really do anything on the inside. So if there's like a floor plan that you have in mind that you'd love to pull off, we can pull off just about anything inside of this envelope. So you can make it look like exactly how you want to have it. I mean, for me, this is the design that I was aiming for. You can also see, I guess, another unique feature of the system is that the walls are plywood walls, which allows them to be quite durable. Like, I can give this a good hit, and if I hit it even harder, I'm not going to break through the wall, but I will break my hand. And every one of these pieces of plywood on the walls is the joints have been sealed with a sealing tape that is rated to seal joints for vapor barrier purposes, for maintaining a vapor barrier. And then we've covered that up with a batten. So this, you get a really kind of unique look in this cabin, and what it's called is board and batten style walls. And what it does is it allows us to have this high performing building system where if we hang a picture on the wall and then take out the screw, we can just patch the wall, and the vapor barrier is patched at the same time, because the wall itself is the vapor barrier. Whereas if you penetrated the vapor barrier behind a piece of drywall, it's very hard to fix that vapor barrier breach without cutting open the drywall and then doing a big patch. So this is going to help us maintain the performance as well. This is not a finished build, of course, so many things left to do, including a porch that's going off the front end of this cabin. So the roof itself is going to be extended another 14 feet, and it's going to be timber framed, and you'll have a 14 foot by 26 foot wide covered deck in the front. So that'll also give it a really nice aesthetic when you're looking at the cabin from the river. So this is it, folks. One last thing I'm just going to point out here. I'm going to come right over to this area, and if you look up by the ceiling, you'll see something that looks like a fire alarm, and what that is Guardian Fire Shield. So that one has a fusible linkage where if it gets to 135 degrees, this thing will deploy and it'll put out a minimum of a 16 by 16 foot space. So if we have a fire that starts on the stove, it's going to put that fire out before it ever spreads. The other thing that we've done is we've primed all of the walls, all of the wood, with a Class A intumescent fire retardant paint. So you could sit here with a blowtorch for a few minutes on the wall and it's not going to ignite. What we're trying to do is build houses that are super low maintenance, very safe, very durable, very comfortable, and really efficient to heat and cool. It's all about sustainability, overall sustainability, and getting people a house at the lowest lifetime cost of ownership. We might be a few dollars higher than a conventionally built house, but in the long run, it's going to be a much cheaper home to own and to operate. Very similar to how maybe like Tesla might convince you to consider a more expensive electric vehicle, is by maybe highlighting the fact that electricity is much cheaper than gas mileage wise, and that you could also greatly reduce your maintenance with way less moving parts and components that an EV requires. So you may be buying a vehicle for 60 grand, but maybe the cost of ownership over 5 to 10 years might be similar to a vehicle that does gas and might have cost you about $35,000 or $40,000. So thanks, folks. Have a great day.